All right. This is the group project for Fire 105 at Miramar College. Our case study was on the 327 East Boyd Street fire that occurred in Los Angeles on May 16, 2020, that resulted in the serious injury of 12 firefighters. Our group members are Anthony Stuckey, Daniel Noble, Chris Stoddard, and James Abell. The building itself is Smoke Totes, an international distributor and wholesaler of smoking and vaping products. Products that range from normal, like bongs and lighters, to more hazardous materials such as butane and hash oil. The building is a compact single-story structure with a total surface area of 2,750 square feet and is a standard concrete masonry structure. There was no available floor plan or inner layout of the building to find, but from its simple design and this photo of the interior after the fire, it appeared to be one long continuous room with various sections for storage of materials. It also appears the building may have had a basement of sorts, right here, either for storage or maintenance. The building also had two overhead rolling metal doors as its primary entrance. There could have been another door in the rear, but no images of that portion of the building exists. But it's not too far-fetched to imagine they had an emergency exit door. So, the fire was reported at 18:26 by bystanders. The LA City 9 station crew arrived a few minutes later to find moderate smoke coming from the closed and sealed building. The fire crew then began with standard operations by sending a team to forcibly enter the building, while another team went onto the roof to start working on cutting ventilations in the rear of the structure. However, a bit later, the roof team noticed flames coming from the ventilations and requested support. The fire chief also felt something was off and made a call declaring the fire a major emergency. Unfortunately, his feelings of unease were warranted because about 10 minutes after arriving, the roof team was being engulfed in smoke and started hearing train and jet engine sounds beneath them. A call was given shortly after for both teams to exit the building. Unfortunately, while both teams were retreating, an explosion of fire shot out from the entrance, engulfing the firefighters. It also shot out from the rear of the building as well, as you can see in this video.
Within a few minutes, firefighters.
So the flames, as you can see here, pushing out from the building, were reportedly so hot that the personal protective equipment the firefighters were wearing were on fire as they were leaving the building, and their SCBAs were starting to melt. Their helmets were melting as well. The flames were so intense, as you can see here, that they actually scorched this truck and the building on the other side of the street. The flames also started spreading to the neighboring complexes. As soon as this happened and the explosion ripped across the street and out of the rear of the building, a mayday call was issued by the fire director on scene. 12 firefighters suffered various injuries at the scene of the explosion. 11 of them were immediately transported due to serious burns and airway damage. Thankfully, none of these men were killed, but 2 are still being hospitalized while another lost function to his hands. In response to the explosion and mayday call, over 200 firefighters came to the aid in the now major emergency structure fire. The fire was officially under control and knocked down at 20:08 hours. So what went wrong? Well, a lot of things. The first issue regarding the fire is that the cause of it is still unknown. Although, given that the store sold lighters and smoking supplies, there are some likely theories on how it started. The other issue is that the arriving fire crew had little knowledge of the building's layout and contents. They could assume based off the general knowledge of the store's design, but were completely unaware of the excessive amounts of butane and oil in the building, so they proceeded with the fire as per routine. The major issue of this event was the fire's behavior and what events led to its dangerous explosion. The most likely theory is that the explosion was a result of a massive backdraft, or a backdraft-like situation. We know that the fire still has no exact cause, but before the fire was reported, it was likely burning at a slow rate, slowly spreading through the building and filling the sealed building with pressure and smoke. By the time the fire crews arrived and began forcibly entering and ventilating, the building was depleting its oxygen supply internally. So when the fire crews began tearing down the front entrance and cutting holes in the ventilation, it provided a new pathway for oxygen, as evidenced by the flames coming through the ventilations, as stated earlier. It was also likely that was when the flames reached butane and hash oil, causing them to ignite and combust, resulting in the sounds heard beneath the aerial team on the roof. From there, the flames, smoke, and internal pressure rapidly expanded and exploded out through the biggest openings in the building. The flames, due to the pressure buildup and the butane igniting, would also be burning at around 1500 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, resulting in the melting and burning of the firefighters' protective equipment. The lack of fire suppression and alert systems was also a glaring issue. No sprinkler systems or smoke detectors were noted to be found during or after the fire. The fire department was only notified of the fire when civilians noticed smoke coming from the building. For future safety and avoidance of similar emergencies, the LA Fire Department decided they were going to begin annual inspections and surveys. The result of these actions will help enforce the need and installation of proper fire suppression equipment, as well as proper storage and labeling of hazardous materials. The LA Fire Department's goal is to learn all they can to avoid similar casualties and have a safer future for their firefighters and the community at large. Here are our sources. Thank you.